welcome back to our YouTube channel. The Bible has portrayed them as symbols of treachery, seduction, and wickedness. But the stories of Jezebel, Delilah, and Herodias are more than the sum of their vilified deeds. Their lives, filled with complexities and motivations beyond mere malice, are tales of survival, ambition, and the struggle for agency in a world dominated by men. This is the untold story of the three women, set against the backdrop of an unfolding spring, a season of renewal and revelation.
The ambitious Queen Spring had come to Samaria, the capital of the northern kingdom of Israel. The warm breeze carried the scent of blooming flowers and ripening fruit. Jezebel, the Phoenician queen, stood on the palace balcony, her eyes scanning the city she had come to rule alongside her husband, King Ahab.
Jezebel's early life in Tyre was filled with luxury and education. Her father, Baal, was both king and high priest, and she had learned the arts of governance and statecraft from him. Marrying Ahab was not just a political alliance, it was a chance to bring prosperity and cultural richness to Israel. But her introduction of Baal worship met with fierce resistance from the prophets of Yahweh. To Jezebel, Baal was not just a deity. He was a symbol of agricultural prosperity and cultural advancement. She believed that by uniting the people under a single religious and cultural framework, Israel could become as prosperous as Tyre. Elijah's prophecy of doom loomed over her. Jezebel's act of having Naboth falsely accused and executed to secure his vineyard for Ahab was seen as a testament to her ruthlessness. Yet in her eyes, it was a necessary step to consolidate power and ensure the stability of her husband's reign. The palace needed resources, and Naboth's vineyard was strategically placed. Her devotion to Baal and Asherah was sincere, not merely an act of defiance against Yahweh's prophets. She built temples and sponsored festivals, hoping to integrate her heritage with her new home. But as spring flourished, so did the opposition against her, culminating in Elijah's prophecy and the rise of Jehu, who would ultimately overthrow her. In her final moments, Jezebel adorned herself with royal garments and makeup, not to seduce, but to face her death as a queen. Her defiance until the end was a testament to her strength and pride. She fell from the window, trampled by horses, and left for the dogs, fulfilling Elijah's prophecy. But even in death, her story was one of a woman who dared to challenge the status quo and paid the ultimate price.
Delilah, the enigmatic betrayer, the valley of Sork was alive with the colors of spring, the fields bursting with wildflowers and the vines heavy with young grapes. Delilah, a woman of striking beauty and keen intelligence, lived in this lush landscape, straddling the cultural line between the Philistines and Israelites.
Born to a Philistine mother and an Israelite father, Delilah understood the delicate balance of power and prejudice that existed between the two peoples. Her relationship with Samson, the mighty Nazirite, was not born of mere seduction but mutual fascination. Samson's legendary strength and Nazirite vows intrigued her, while her mysterious allure captivated him. When the Philistine rulers approached Delilah with a proposition to discover the secret of Samson's strength, she found herself at a crossroads. The promise of silver was tempting, but more compelling was the opportunity to secure her place in a society that often marginalized women. Each attempt to uncover Samson's secret revealed more about their complex relationship. Delilah's persistence, often seen as sheer betrayal, was driven by a blend of fear, ambition, and a desperate hope for a different future. She saw in the silver the possibility of independence, a way to break free from the constraints of her life. The night she finally discovered the truth, that Samson's strength lay in his uncut hair, was one of heartbreak and resolve. As she cut his hair, she wept silently, knowing that she was not just betraying a lover, but sacrificing a part of herself. When the Philistines seized Samson, Delilah was left with her silver and the haunting emptiness of her choices. She had secured her future, but at the cost of the only man who had ever truly seen her. Her story, often reduced to that of a treacherous seductress, was in truth one of a woman navigating a world where every decision carried the weight of survival and sacrifice.
Herodias, the manipulative matriarch spring in Judea, was a time of renewal, but for Herodias it was a season of intense political maneuvering. Born into the Herodian dynasty, Herodias had learned from a young age that power was not just inherited but actively pursued.
Her marriage to Herod II had been a strategic alliance, but her union with his brother, Herod Antipas, was one of ambition. Antipas' rule over Galilee and Perea offered her greater influence and the possibility to shape the political landscape of Judea. John the Baptist's condemnation of her marriage was a direct threat to her position and legitimacy. In Herodias' eyes, John's growing influence was not just a personal affront but a political destabilizer. She understood the precariousness of her position in a court filled with intrigue and rivals. Herodias' daughter Salome was a pawn in her intricate game of power. The dance that Salome performed at Antipas's birthday feast was a masterstroke of manipulation. When Antipas, enraptured by Salome's dance, promised her anything she desired, Herodias saw her chance. Salome, coached by her mother, asked for the head of John the Baptist. It was a brutal request, but one that Herodias deemed necessary. John's death was a calculated move to remove a dangerous adversary and cement her position. Herodias knew that in a world dominated by men, she had to be both cunning and ruthless to survive. The spring of John's execution was marked by a strange stillness in Herod's court. Herodias watched as her plan unfolded, feeling a mix of triumph and unease. She had secured her power, but the shadow of her actions lingered, a reminder of the price she paid for ambition. Epilogue: the stories of Jezebel, Delilah, and Herodias are tales of women who navigated the treacherous waters of power, love, and survival. They were vilified in their lifetimes and remembered as symbols of wickedness, but their lives were far more complex. Jezebel's ambition was fueled by a vision of unity and prosperity that clashed with the prevailing religious and cultural norms. Delilah's betrayal was a desperate act of survival in a world that offered her few choices. Herodias' manipulation was a strategic move to secure her position and protect her family. As spring blooms once more, it brings with it the reminder that history is often written by those who prevail. The untold stories of these women reveal not just their flaws, but their strength, resilience, and the harsh realities they faced. They were not merely the worst women of the Bible, but complex characters whose lives were shaped by the forces of their time. In the renewal of spring, we can find new perspectives, understanding that behind the vilified legends were real women who struggled, loved, and fought for their place in a world that was often unforgiving. Their stories, untold and misunderstood, remind us of the enduring complexity of the human experience. Jezebel, Delilah, and Herodias are often remembered as the worst women in the Bible, their names synonymous with deceit and treachery. However, their untold stories reveal the complexities and humanity behind their actions. They were women navigating a world that offered them few choices, driven by ambition, love, and survival. By understanding their true narratives, we gain a deeper appreciation for the intricate tapestry of motives and circumstances that defined their lives. These women were more than their infamous deeds. They were resilient individuals who fought for their place in history, offering timeless lessons on the complexities of human nature.